Good morning guys and girls, and welcome back to another video, and today is a noob's guide on the Vial of Sands recipe. Let's go! Okay, so you want the Vial of Sands recipe. So first things first, I just want to clear this up. You are going to need to be exalted with the Law Walkers, which I released a few days ago. So go watch that video. It will take you around about less than an hour to actually become exalted with the Law Walkers, and then once you've done that, then come back to this video. But that being the case, let's get on to the guide. Okay, so what you're going to be wanting to do is run over to Mr. Pandaria and go to the archaeology trainer. And pretty much what you're going to be wanting to do is learn up to Zen archaeology. Now, thanks to BFA, you can pretty much just learn it straight off the bat. You don't need any full-on leveling skill to actually do this now, because it's all carved up into nice little sections, which makes it a lot easier to actually get a hold of this. Before you actually learn your archaeology, make sure you're actually on your alchemist who actually wants the Vial of Sands, because the Vial of Sands recipe is soulbound. So once you actually find it, make sure you're on your alchemist, and then you will be able to actually have this, because it would be a real pain in the arse if you did it on another character, and pretty much you won't be able to get the Vial of Sands very easily or use it. You are able to loot the Vial of Sands if you're not an alchemist, but you would have to level your alchemy up super bad. Being the case, the next part in this is by gathering up 2 crates, and this is relatively easy, as you can just go anywhere in Pandaria, just go to a couple of dig sites and farm up a load of fragments quickly. All you need is 2 crates worth, and that will be only a few fragments in order to crate up and then be able to pretty much trade in. Because what you're going to be wanting to do is go back to your archaeology trainer, and he will actually provide you with something that you will need, and that is the mantid artifact sonic locator. And this is within the little crate thing that you actually buy, which is the Mantid Artifact Hunter's Kit, and this is provided within it. And pretty much what you're going to be wanting to do is actually get hold of this Mantid Artifact Sonic Locator, and this will only specifically target Mantid Artifact dig sites, so it pretty much narrows it down into Taolong Steppes or the Dread Wastes. So that's really easy, as you can literally just fly up and down wherever the dig sites will go. Make sure that you actually have a Law Walker's map with you as well, because it randomizes the archaeology dig sites in Pandaria. You can do this, you don't have to, but I find it to be the most proficient in order to actually get the dig sites up and running faster for some reason. What you're going to be wanting to do after that is gather around about 50 crates of fragments, of mantid fragments, and then crate them up, obviously. After you've gathered around about 50 of these up, and I'm not joking when I say about 50 of these, this will take a little bit of time, so do this in as and when you have the time to actually do this. I managed to get over around about 50 of these fragment crates in a couple of hours, so it was really easy to do. So you're looking at the moment in around about 2.5 hours to actually sort all your stuff out in order to actually get a hold of the tol'vir fragments. Now what you want to do then is, by getting those 50 crates and then trading them in for 50 of the tol'vir crates back at Bronzebeard, where he actually sells you the Mantid Artifact Hunter Kit. Now you can get these tol'vir fragments from Bronzebeard, and then you can solve the tol'vir artifacts. Pretty much you have a 5 to 10% chance of a canoptic jar to actually pop up on the actual screen, and then once you've actually solved the canopic jar, you have a 2 to 5% chance of receiving the recipe for the Vial of Sands. Now, the art of doing this was literally just hoping that you get the tol'vir dig site and then actually dig there. But this new way of doing it, or well, it's a few years old right now, but this is an easier and faster way to actually get the tol'vir recipe, well, the tol'vir fragments to actually obtain the recipe. You do have a chance of actually spawning. I would like to note that the tol'vir fragments do have a chance of spawning another pop-up, which is the battle tank, the blue battle tank that you can have in the open world. So that's pretty cool if that actually comes out. Another thing to actually note is you can actually buy tol'vir scrolls, which actually can help you solve the fragments easier. So you could invest a few thousand gold in those tol'vir scrolls to actually solve those artifacts in order to maximize the amount of fragments you're actually using. Now, all in all, this would take you about a few hours to actually do, so about 3 hours when I say a few, and a few hours to actually obtain the Vial of Sands. Now, I have Vial of Sands recipe on 3 of my alchemists. Obviously, it's not on a daily cooldown, but obviously I just like to collect different types of recipes. Every time, it usually takes around about 50 to around about 70 crates of tol'vir fragments in order to actually obtain the Vial of Sands from the canopic jars. So, that being the case, you're going to want to invest a decent amount of time, so maybe about an hour a day for 3 or 4 days, and you will have your Vial of Sands recipe within the week, if you really stuck at it and thought of it like an actual farm. Once you have the Vial of Sands recipe, then go back to my other video as I tell you how to pretty much make the Vial of Sands using the breakdown of it, and then you can actually start making a bit more gold in the long run. So that being the case, guys, that is a noob's guide to the Vial of Sands recipe. Have a lovely rest of the day, like always. Now, I hope you like this video, and if you want to see more like this, please feel free to give this video a like, and as always, have an awesome day, guys.
Yeah.